All right, everyone, just give me one moment. All right, are the parties here on Mr. Clark?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Maria, are you available?
Yes, Judge, I'm ready.
And who is the prosecutor on this, please?
Joe Ray, Judge.
In doing a quick search, I didn't see that, Judge, from yesterday's
Okay.
docket.
All right, thank you. We'll find it. All right, everyone. I hope everyone had a nice lunch and is still enjoying your Cinco de Mayo day. The court is calling 2019 CR 0925W, State of Texas versus Joshua Jamar Clark. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the defense?
Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Mr. Clark? I need you to unmute for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Clark, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Joshua Clark
Yes.
who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 0925W for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on February 22nd, 2019 for a term of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 26. On or about the 7th day of March 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Joshua Clark, did then and there fail to comply with the rules and regulations of Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Intermediate Sanction Program in violation of condition number 26.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State?
State waives remaining allegation, Your Honor.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor. No objection.
All right, Mr. Clark, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 26, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 26?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 26. Is there an agreement?
I'm sorry, Judge, it's a little too loud.
Thank you. Court is finding violation of condition number 26 true. Is there an agreement?
There's a partial agreement, Judge. The state's recommendation is following probation's recommendation, which is Bexar County ISF, GPS for 90 days, and anger management, as long as continuing the ISP program. So deny and alter and amend, Your Honor.
So GPS, anger management, and what else?
And continue on the ISP.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, we're in agreement on every issue with the exception of the ISF. If the court were to review the PDR in this matter, they would see that there's some confusion as to the specificity of condition 26 violation, if it's specific to the allegation of the new offense. And I've talked about this with the prosecution, the likelihood, or in other words, it's our position that that probably didn't happen. And it's also reflected there in the PDR, because in the PDR, they did reach out to the victim in this case. And they specifically said that it did not occur. Also, the reports on that matter would reasonably reflect that. Our only issue is with the ISF is given that he's had the ISF, and we're just not sure if that ISF recommendation from probation is specific to whether or not that offense actually occurred. It just is very general. And so we're just asking that the court would consider to not send him to ISF, given that he's already done 6 months in ISF. We would also bring to the court's attention that he hasn't failed any drug test, that he was employed. All of that is reflected in the PDR. He would like to continue to be employed. I mentioned to him that we would ask the court if the court would be willing to, if it does go along with the GPS condition, that it be a partial GPS that would allow him to work and to go to school, which is something he was also getting the ball rolling on. But as it relates to this, our only specific issue, I guess, that we're going open to the court on is whether or not he should have to go to ISF at this time. It's our position that we don't think that that's necessarily justified, given the lack of specificity as it relates to what the actual issue is with condition 26.
All right, so why hasn't ISF been completed?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Why wasn't ISF completed?
The ISF, yeah, and I think it's an issue around just the acronyms themselves, but he did complete ISF. He did ISF for 6 months. He didn't have any issues with that. They discharged him, as the court's aware. When they have issues in ISF sometimes will extend them for 30 days. He didn't have any of those issues.
Okay, so what's the problem? Why doesn't he want to do ISP? What's the problem with
there are no issues with ISP. No issues with ISP. It's just, again, it's a little confusing. It's just, it seems as if the probation is recommending that he go to ISF again. And then after ISF, be on GPS for, I believe it's 90 days. We're asking, we're open on that issue. That's the issue Mr. Garcia was referencing, as to whether or not he should have to go to ISF again. He's also expressed his willingness to address the court if the court would like to address him.
Why isn't he in Mississippi?
I'm sorry, Judge?
Why isn't he in Mississippi? I'm reading the notes.
Yes, Judge.
And here's my problem with you, Mr. Clark. You were placed on deferred adjudication on February 22nd. At that time, I ordered ISF. Then there was a violation of condition number 22. That was heard on August 5th. And then you said you wanted to go to Biloxi, Mississippi, and there was going to be intensive supervision. So you're supposed to be in Biloxi, Mississippi. Why are you still here in Texas and not there? And that's where you wanted your probation transferred to.
I was gonna go to.
Let me have you raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear, affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Joshua Clark.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to speak up.
Joshua Clark.
Okay, so why are you not in Mississippi?
Well, I was gonna go to Mississippi, but I have better opportunity down there. Down here. And I was gonna just go ahead and get my probation transfer from down there to down here.
All right, so we had that problem. And then January, we were supposed to have a contested MTR hearing. And then we come back on February 8th. He has a new number one. He pled true to the new number one. It was denied and altered and amended. So I'm trying to figure out why Mr. Clark is not doing well on deferred adjudication, because he's not doing well.
Your Honor, counsel was not aware of the Biloxi issue. I do know that as it relates to, well, specifically as to why he's not doing well on probation, I think some of that revolved around his housing, but I do know that he's been on the ISP. And as it relates to that program, well, I don't want to misspeak, Judge, but I'm not, I would assume that probation knows he's still here and that it was not transferred to Biloxi.
Oh, no, I'm just, these are just questions that I'm asking.
And I would,
Because to me,
just,
Mr. Clark hasn't been doing well on this deferred adjudication. He's behaving as though he wants to go to prison. And people will come and people will say, I have a job. You know, well, kudos, here's a cookie. Everybody has a job. Everybody's supposed to have a job to support themselves. It's like, I haven't been using alcohol or doing drugs. Well, kudos. Half of the people on this Zoom don't use drugs. And it's like, I haven't been getting into any trouble. I haven't picked up any new cases. Well, kudos. Half the people on this Zoom screen don't pick up new cases. Being on probation is like having a babysitter, because that probation officer has to watch you because people are not behaving as adults with responsibilities and bringing something to the community. They're taking from the community, committing crimes, and basically not acting right. So I'm trying to figure out, what is Mr. Clark's issue? Why does he keep coming back to this court with excuses, with another motion to revoke? And Mr. Simmons, I know you were not the attorney on his other cases, but why is that, Mr. Clark? Why do you keep coming back before this court with some reason why you can't act right and do right while you're on deferred? Do you want to go to prison for 20 years?
Oh, no.
Because I'm sure they have the ISP program at the prison. And the ISP program at the prison is somebody tell you what to do every hour of every day. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Now, what relatives or support system do you have here in Bexar County?
I got my cousin.
It's not I got, it's I have.
I have, cause I have family down here. The only ones that's not down here is my brothers. And my
Sorry,
mother.
sir, just a little slower. Could you please repeat that?
I have family down here. The only ones that's not here are my mother and my brothers, but everybody else.
So your mother is not here.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a good relationship with your mother?
Yes, ma'am. I talk to her all the time.
All right, so what family do you have here?
I have cousins. I have aunties, uncles, grandparents.
How are they involved in your life?
I kind of keep to myself.
All right, so you don't have a support system with them. Why do you not want to go back to Biloxi, Mississippi? And don't tell me there are more opportunities here in San Antonio, because you are a person who has a felony on your record right now. And when I say it's on your record, I know it's a deferred adjudication, but it shows up. So you're someone with a felony on your record. So how is an opportunity better here than in Mississippi?
Because in Mississippi, there's not much employment, and it's kind of like a retirement state. It's not too much employment down there. And before I moved down here, I was getting in a lot of trouble. But since I moved down here, I've been doing better. But I just happened to been getting in. I'm not gonna say altercations, but I guess like I still have like some of the bad people still around me in my circle.
Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that, please?
I guess it's that I still have like negative influences around me.
So why, since you're on deferred and you know you can go to prison for 20 years, why are you around people that you say bring negative influences to your life?
I guess it's, I don't know, I guess it's hard to like, to stray from what I used to do. Like, I don't be around as much, but like, I don't know, I guess like when people know where I still live type things, like I just hang out and not thinking nothing of it or not thinking I'm in trouble. I end up getting in trouble or getting put in a situation to where, I end up coming back here. But the last time, like my last charge, I went over somebody's house, and when I got over there, the police happened to come over there, and which resulted into me going to jail. This time, I didn't go nowhere. I was at home, and a family friend came over there, and now I'm in here again. But she stated that I didn't do nothing to her.
Well, no, here's the thing. You had better keep to yourself. You should spend your world and your life while you're on this deferred adjudication, working home. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You shouldn't be involving yourself in any companionship or relationship because you are on paper. And right now, you can't bring anything to the table but someone who has a deferred for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, have you even went to a trade school or done anything to improve yourself?
Well, I've been working.
Doing what?
Well, I've been. It's hard for me to get my social security card right now. I'm actually trying to get my social, but until I get my social, I've been doing like temporary work at this place called Pay Setters. But I was just informed that I can go get. They have all my paperwork, so I can go get a printout of my social security card because there's a job. that
Social
actually
security
wants to hire
card
me.
is a matter of going online. All these young people you use online to play, what is it? World of Warcraft, the LA game, whatever y'all are playing. But you can Google, you can stand in line. I see people all the time standing in line outside the Social Security office. It's not like you're doing anything.
Well, I've been trying to get my social, but I've been more concerned on taking care of my little girl. And so, like, I don't know, I guess I procrastinate a little bit.
But you're doing a poor job of that, and you had better stop procrastinating. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is your little girl?
Well, she'll be 8 months this month.
When was she born?
She was born last August and
What day?
August 15th.
You need to remember that. And when's the last time you saw her?
February.
That's sad.
Yes, it is.
And the reason why you haven't seen her is because of you and the foolishness that you're doing and that you're continuing to do. I do not want to see you come back here again. If you come back here again, you're looking at potentially going to prison for 20 years. You understand?
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't quite hear you. If you're coming back here again,
If you come back here again, you're looking at potentially going to prison for 20 years. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you go to prison for 20 years, your daughter will already, hopefully, have graduated from high school, not met a joker, as they would say, and is getting on with her life and is not on a Zoom screen in court because she is following in the footsteps of her father. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what the court will do. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include GPS, partial, it's for work, and any other place you need to go, to the grocery store or wherever it is, you need to get permission from your probation officer. And I want a curfew on him. And I want a 7 p.m. curfew until further notice. If he is employed and he has work and that work is at 7 p.m., then he'll be allowed to extend that curfew, but only for work. And you all are asking for anger management. Does he need anger management? What is going to happen with this new number one that's in the in the motion?
It's going to be dismissed, Judge.
All right, so does he really need anger management, or is this misunderstanding what's going on here?
Based off the summary, his probation officer said he believes he would benefit from it.
Mr. Clark,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give you, have you ever had anger management?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to give you that because you seemed like you don't have any anger issues with me, but I wasn't with you on March 7th, so I don't know how you behave outside the courtroom. So it'll be anger management. And that'll be weekly Zoom reporting for 3 months. Is there anything else from either side?
Your Honor, for the benefit of my clients now, I just want to be clear that his probation has not been transferred to Biloxi and that his obligations are in Bexar County.
No,
I just
but
want to verify that for him.
No, but
So
Mr.
there's-
Clark, you need to think strongly about whether or not you want your probation transferred to Biloxi. I've just discovered that if you have a good mother, usually a good mother is able to help you stay focused on what you need to be focused on, but you had better stop procrastinating. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And every decision from here on out, you need to ask yourself one question. Is this something where I could end up going to prison for 20 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when your friends try to come over and they think, hey, Mr. Clark, hey, let's go down the street to the grocery store. And you're like, yeah, let me do that. And it's past 7 p.m. You need to ask yourself, is going to the grocery store with my friends something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will go over new conditions with you. I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Excuse me, Judge, are we going to continue on ISP program?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Judge,
All
maybe excuse.
Yes, if you'll go to breakout room number 1 with your client, Mr.
Yes.
Simmons, and then you're excused.
Yes, sir.
All right, Rodolfo Cepeda.
Yes, Your Honor. My client called, said they didn't have a ride, or he was trying to get it from his friends and things of that nature. And then he was trying to borrow money to get on the bus. I told him to get on Zoom again so he could explain it to you.
No, Mr. Garcia, you need to be in the courtroom. I'm going to give you till tomorrow.
That's Mr. Romero.
Oh, Mr. Romero? Yeah, he's not listening to me. Yeah, he needs to be in court. I'll give him as late as tomorrow.
At 9
And
o'clock,
he-
Your Honor?
Yes, and he had better, whoever's on the video with him, the last time I rode the bus, I believe it cost $1. So maybe it's gone up a little bit, maybe it's $2. So I'm sure he can find somebody to give him $2. And hopefully he has employment. Or either he can use part of the money from the stimulus check that was sent and catch the bus. So see, yeah, and the other thing, Mr. Zepeda, your client will not be allowed to be on Zoom again, ever. He's to always appear in court because he doesn't know how to behave.
Yes, ma'am.
So let him know, latest tomorrow at 9, if not, a warrant will be issued.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Zepeda.
Yeah, be excused then.
Yes, thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge. I don't know if you got the paperwork on Mr. Escobedo.
All right, let me just check.
It was just a trial court certification appeal. It's an MTR, Judge, with an agreement.
Okay. Okay, who is your client, Mr. Bell?
Fernando Escobedo, he's 14D on the Zoom panel.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Speak with probation in 2 to find out if, with the clerks to find out where your paperwork is. Could the clerks please go to breakout room number 2, please?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes,
You're
Judge.
welcome. Mr. Valdez,
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Judge.
good afternoon.
I'm letting my client know. Judge, I had filed the motion. I just recently retained on this matter, and I had filed the motion asking the court for my client for permission to travel for work-related purposes, Judge. As you might see or have already read in my motion, he works with Ray Ferris, Inc., which is he's been there for over a year and a half.
No, who's your client?
He's jumping on right now. He's been kind of trying to get on.
What's your client's name?
Raul Guevara.
All right, have you had a chance to confer with the state?
No, I have not, Your Honor. I was actually going to see if I can confer with Tom briefly.
All right, I'll send you, and the court has the motion. I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Yes, Judge. Thank you, Your Honor. And my client will be on shortly.
No, he's just popped in.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Tom, if you could go to number 3, please.
Yes, Judge.
Michael Sawyer.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Oh, great. How are you doing? It's Cinco de Mayo.
That's right. And it's also a beautiful day.
It is. You can't make it any other beautiful. The only thing that would make this more beautiful would be if we had some shrimp etouffee. But other than that, it's great.
Well, I can think of a second alternative. On a beautiful day like this, we could be sitting next to that great big river there in Baton Rouge enjoying a glass of wine.
Oh, thank you, Michael. That's awesome. I hope your brother is doing okay. Let him know I said hi.
I will. And if I could just go to a breakout room with the prosecutor, we'll confer.
Okay. And your client is?
That is Jacob Tafoya.
Okay, let me just find him on the, yes. All right. It's family violence, everyone. I'll see you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Brent Coffey.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Who do you have?
Mr. Juan Castaneda. And he is not present.
All right, just give us a moment. And if you could give me just a short break, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Sorry about that, everyone.
I need to take things very.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. And so, Mr. Coffey, are you expecting your client?
I have not gotten a response from him, so I do not expect him to be showing up. I believe we were still set for a contested MTR today.
Yes, we were. Just one moment. And your client already, I believe, is remanded without bond. He's been remanded without bond since March 24th on both of these cause numbers. So I'll state that he's a no-show. Once your client is arrested, we will, of course, get in touch with you, and you'll probably know before we know.
Yes, Judge.
All right, then you're excused.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too.
And Your Honor, you should have that paperwork now, Mr. Escobedo. I think we straightened it out.
All right, thank you. All right, I've signed the paperwork, Mr. Bell. As soon as the clerks give it to me, we will start on your case.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And Mr. Sawyer?
Yes, Your Honor, I conferred with the state. They've made me a very, very good offer that I like.
Mhm.
It involves doing a plea on the misdemeanor assault case, and they will TIC the felony case. If I get this case reset about 2 weeks, Your Honor, I can take care of it.
Okay. Let me just pull your client's file. Norma, can we reset Mr. Jacob Tafala for 2 weeks, please?
Yes, ma'am. Let me, 2 weeks. It's not going to be in person, is it, Judge?
No, he's going to enter a plea in misdemeanor court, and then this case will be dismissed.
Okay. He can come back on the 19th.
19th?
Yes.
That sounds great. Your Honor, thank you very much and have a good day.
All right, you two have a good one. Enjoy the rest of Cinco de Mayo. I'm just going to keep saying that all day.
You gotta remember, I'm part Mexican anyway.
Hey, there you go. Thank you. Have a good one.
My dad was born in San Luis Potosí.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a new place that I haven't heard of.
It's way down there.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right, Judge, have a good day.
All right, you too.
Judge, I just sent you a chat.
Let me see if he's on.
You want to put it in the chat box for me, Rebecca?
I already did, Judge.
All right, thank you. Okay, let me find it. Oh, Rebecca, okay, thank you. Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Clark can go back? He's L4. Thank you. All righty, are the parties ready on Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, Judge.
Raymond? Yeah, okay.
Judge, can you send me to a breakout room with Tom? Please.
Norma, if you go to number 1, and Tom, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please. Tom Nesbitt, if you can go to number 1, please. Thank you. Court is calling 2019 CR 6446W, State of Texas versus Fernando Escobedo. Can I have parties announced on the record, please, for the state,
Alexandra Williamson.
for the defense?
Raymond Bell.
All right, and are you Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Escobedo, I'm not a doctor, but that mask doesn't work if it's not covering your nose.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Escobedo, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Are you the same Fernando Escobedo who was placed on community supervision in 2019 CR 6446W for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on June 11, 2019 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, I am.
State?
The defendant violated condition number 41 on or about the 8th day of January 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Fernando Escobedo, then and there failed to comply with the rules and regulations of the felony drug court, in that he failed to appear for a scheduled court review in violation of condition
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last portion. Violation of condition.
number 41.
How do you plead to that, Mr. Escobedo? True or not true?
True.
The state will waive all remaining allegations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Escobedo, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 41, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $1,500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition 41 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking for you to grant the state's motion, his probation reform.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, counsel. Counsel, just up to the, where you ask him to revoke his probation.
Reform the sentence and sentence him under section 1244 of the Penal Code to 123 days in the Bexar County Jail.
Is that the agreement, defense?
It is, Your Honor, and he should be judgment satisfied.
Mr. Escobedo, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, the court will follow the agreement that's been reached, grant the motion, sentence you to 123 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code. Give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll close the record. Mr. Escobedo, the felony drug court is a great program. I guess you just were not ready to be clean and sober. But here's the thing. If you don't clean up your act, one or two things going to end up happening. Either you're going to end up going in and out of prison, spending your life there, or worst case scenario, you're going to use drugs and somebody's not going to be able to revive you, or you're going to overdose. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Can you let them know that 14D can go back?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Maybe excuse, Your Honor?
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks for your patience.
Bye-bye.
You have Guerrera.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is down here. Mr. Guevara, if you just wave a little bit so the judge sees you. There he is, Your Honor. The state is going silent on this, Your Honor, and what we would ask the court to consider is to allow him to travel due to his job. As I said, I think the motion speaks for itself, Your Honor.
All right, what is he charged with in this cause? I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. He's charged with deadly conduct / firearms, I believe is a 3rd-degree felony.
All right, I'll allow him to work. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, that shall be it.
All right, thank you. You and your client are excused.
Thank you so much, Judge. I appreciate that.
All right, you're welcome. All right, who is the attorney for Adrian Garcia?
Good afternoon, Judge. That's me, Alfonso Cañas.
Hello, Alfonso, what is happening with Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor. The last time we were here, I conferred with Mr. David Martin regarding Mr. Garcia's case. He's out on bond, and my client is not interested in resolving this case other than through a trial, Your Honor.
Okay, does he want a jury trial? Did you talk to him about a bench trial?
I did, Your Honor, but he's insisting on a jury trial.
Okay. All right, Mr. Garcia, you were supposed to be here yesterday, but you did not show. If you're not on time for court, we're going to have issues, okay?
I just got notified by them today, ma'am, and they told me that they just got notified.
What I'm telling you is you were supposed to be here yesterday. You're notified to be here today because you did not show yesterday.
I had no knowledge.
So do not be late again. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Norma, can we recall this for the end of May so that I can give him his trial date setting?
Yes, ma'am. We can do the 31st, Judge.
All right, so we're going to bring you back on May 31st.
That's Memorial Day.
It's Memorial Day.
Norma.
We can do the 28th.
All right. May 28th, and I don't think we have anyone set because every time we say that, people tell us it's Memorial Day.
Norma wants us to work hard for our money.
He does. All right, so you're going to be back on May 28th. That'll be by Zoom. Mr. Garcia, don't be late. And the other thing, baseball caps are not allowed in court. So that means that you can't wear them on Zoom either when you're in court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Cabanas, do you have anyone else with us?
I don't believe so, Judge.
All right, you and your client then are excused. We'll see you on the 28th for your trial.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Garcia, I'll call you here in a couple of seconds.
All righty, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Cornelius Cox, you've joined us again.
This is just a court. This court is an inspiration, Judge. So every now and then, when I don't have anything right to do, I come in and get inspired.
Hey, we're always trying to inspire and uplift.
Is Mr. Sanders around? Or
yes, he is.
Okay, let me talk to him and if I can get him in a breakout room.
All right, Marcus, could you go to breakout room number 1? And I'm trying to see if there's someone else we're waiting on.
Dan Rodriguez had something and he was going to be late.
Yes. And then Norma has just told me on Villarreal, we're coming back on a different date. Norma, when is Villarreal coming back?
Give me 1 second, Judge.
Thank you.
The 31st, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm like, what?
June 31st.
But you will notice, see how I stay in my lane? I'm not trying to be anything but I want what I'm supposed to be. So whenever she gives me a date, I'm like, that's the date. Did you need?
And when he comes back, can we put Cornelius under oath and see if he'll say that again?
Okay, we're gonna put him under oath. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. This girl,
Mask up.
this girl is charged with that.
Mask up.
Oh. I'm
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
like,
You're
whoa.
talking to me yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. She's charged with manslaughter. You previously amended her GPS to let her go to work.
Mhm.
This is to let her take her daughter to school.
Okay, this is the motion to quash.
Oh.
No problem.
Well, that motion to quash you couldn't find in your file. It's now in your file.
Okay, awesome. Do you need this back? All right, if you'll go to the courtroom and I will send you to a breakout room with,
Well, Nisbet's already said he's okay with it.
okay. All right, Tom Nesbitt,
Yes.
you reviewed the order on Miss Jasmine Hardaway?
Yep.
Okay, the court will sign it.
Okay, here's some details.
Oh, no, I agree with what you're
Well,
telling me.
Yeah, but this is the details of where she goes.
Okay.
LBJ Elementary on West Commerce.
Mhm.
And she would need 7 to 8:30 in the morning, and then 2:30 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay, just one moment.
You betcha.
Judge, and Jim will be here in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you. Norma, I'm sorry, what date are we gonna do on Roberto Villarreal?
Give me just a few minutes, Judge, and I'll let you know in just a second.
All right, thank you.
They had full-on in-person courtrooms in county.
Oh, wow, I hope people were wearing their masks.
Anyway,
Okay.
that doesn't mean there aren't some glitches.
Mm-hmm.
The DA would only talk to one another in the conference room.
Mm-hmm.
We have all these lawyers standing up.
Rebecca, do you know the date that we completed Cameron Scott on?
Okay, we're trying to mute so there's no echo. I will check that and I'll get back with you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Tom. Cornelius said
Put some
that
respect to my name.
he talked to you in the past about this case. You're already assigned to one.
What's the name of the case?
The Govan SID is 977-476.
Okay. Number one.
Yep.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes. Rebecca?
Yes, ma'am. It was on 3/11/21.
Oh, so that would have been Brenna. Okay, no problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, on Varial, we can bring him back on the 11th.
All right, May 11th?
Yes.
Okay. All right, everyone, I think we are done for today. Is that correct, Norma? Are we waiting? We have to do Miss Morales that's in the courtroom
Yes, ma'am.
and get her an attorney. To the courtroom, could I see Miss Morales, please?
Yes, Judge, you also have Mr. Munihan. We're waiting for his attorney. He was going to be late.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ms. Morales? I'm gonna need you to speak up. You were supposed to have an attorney here today. Do you have an attorney?
No, I don't have an attorney
And why is that?
because I thought I had enough to hire an attorney and I didn't know that it cost that much.
So what are you asking of the court?
If I could have a court-appointed attorney.
All right, so this is where we are, Ms. Morales. You had a previous court-appointed attorney,
Mhm.
and my understanding from that attorney is that you were not behaving as an adult should behave, and that his staff did not want him to keep the case because you were causing controversy in his office. So I'm going to appoint you another attorney. You will not receive another court-appointed attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I will be expecting that you treat him with respect. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The attorney appointed to your case will be James Oltersdorf. He will get a chance to meet you in the breakout room. Mr. Oltersdorf, Ms. Morales is charged with possession less than a gram and cause number 2021 CR 0997. And she's charged with possession 1 to 4 grams, and all of these are penalty group 1. And that is in 2021 CR 0998. And Mr. Oltersdorf, her plea deadline has expired, but because you are recently appointed to her, I will extend the plea deadline, but I'll give you a chance to speak with her and speak to the state. Who would you like to speak to first?
Ms. Morales, please, Judge.
All right. So courtroom, if you could go back to breakout room number 3, and Mr. Oltersdorf, if you could go to 3, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. Also, we also have Michael Avery. He's also in the courtroom.
Okay, I believe we're waiting to see if his attorney comes back.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Ferguson, can I see you in a breakout room, please? I'll meet you in number 1.
Moses.
Hi, Mr. Cox. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I looked at those two tables of stone, and I'm glad that the Ten Commandments have been revised. So
Those are
I
the
may
most
even make
important.
it. I may make it to the pearly gates. If I only have to do those two things, those other commandments, whoo, they were tough.
How have you been?
I'm doing all right. What about yourself?
Can't complain.
Yeah. How's the family?
All is well, thank God.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
How about you? How's your son?
Oh, fine. He's doing fine too. He's like I say, he's got 2 kids now.
Oh, nice. You're a grandpa.
I'm a grandpa, and but he lives in Atlanta,
Oh,
and that's kind of tough, you know.
yes. How old are the grandkids?
One will turn, he's already 5. One will turn 6 in November. The other will turn, he'll turn 9 and on the 14th.
Wow.
Yeah. 9 on the 14th.
Do they come to visit and you go to visit them too?
Well, I would have gone up this past Christmas, but the COVID-19,
Right.
so the Christmas before I was up there, and I don't know, I may see them because I plan to go to Florida this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully.
Well, be careful.
So,
I had heard Florida wasn't doing too great, but I don't know.
it
Maybe
wasn't
it's just
doing
certain cities.
it wasn't doing too great. I have my vaccines been, and so I just kind of stay out the way for large crowds. You got to stay out of large crowds.
Right, right. We went to Miami and I loved it.
Yeah, when did you go to recently?
No, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's my
3 years,
hometown.
4 years. Oh, okay.
Oh shoot, yeah, I love Miami.
It was nice.
The Fontainebleau. I don't know. Did you go to South Beach or no?
Of course.
Yeah. The Fontainebleau, that area near Brickell Avenue. Then it's the South Beach runs. So when I used to be a prosecutor in Miami.
Oh, cool.
At one point, I had the beach. I was a prosecutor for the beach, the whole beach area.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it was nice. They had a courthouse. One courthouse was so close I could walk to the beach for lunch. It was just right across the street was the beach, and it was nice. Yeah, and you used to have a lot of old people for shoplifting and all that kind of stuff. I did a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it was nice. All that area where, if you ever watched Scarface.
Yes.
Yeah, that area where the beginning where they have to shoot out. Oh,
yes, we went there. We went to that hotel.
Yeah, it's Ocean Drive. There's a beach right across the street from it. That's on Ocean Drive. And you go up a little further north, you run into a mural, and that mural is the side of the Fontainebleau. The Fontainebleau is right down the street from it. And then when you look at the Fontainebleau, you remember in that scene in the Scarface where at the beginning they're at like a hotel, and it's a real beautiful swimming pool, like a lagoon. At first, this is where Tony, he hasn't become the drug dealer yet. Him and this guy, they go out there and they just looking at the girls, and they're hanging out by this pool, and the pool has a waterfall, and the water's coming down the waterfall. That pool is in the Fontainebleau.
Oh, okay.
When they built that pool, the pool was $1 million to build, and that was back in the early 90s when they built that pool. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my hometown, and like I said, my hometown. I kind of minored in Florida history, so
oh, cool.
I know. I mean, it's a lot of little things that were built because the Miami Beach is man-made. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It was back in the day that it was kind of basically mangroves. There was some land, but it basically mangroves that grew. And what they did is that they built it up and brought in sand and built it up into the beaches. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. So it's not much about that area, that I don't know, but good that movie and ever seen a movie called True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that movie, but I don't remember a Miami scene.
No, yeah, the Miami scene when that helicopter hit that building, that's in Miami. During the end, where his daughter is captured and he runs the chop into the building. When the nuclear bomb goes off, the nuclear bomb goes off in Key West.
Okay.
And that's in True Lies. And she played with Jamie Lee Curtis. She plays his wife. Yeah. Yes. At one time that they're in a limousine, and the limousine is on like a big bridge.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
That bridge is a 7-mile bridge. It was a 7-mile bridge that was built in like the 1930s.
Oh, wow.
To connect Key West to the mainland of Florida. Of the mainland.
Yeah, I've
And
never been to Key West. I'd like to go to Key West. Haven't been there.
Beautiful. Yeah. That bridge is what connects it. And that bridge was actually a railroad track, but there was a hurricane that came in like 1925 and blew the tracks down. And they didn't build the railroad tracks anymore. They built a bridge.
Oh, interesting.
So that bridge that they had that shooting on with that scene is a 7-mile bridge. They built a new one, but that was the old 7-mile bridge. Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, Key West you'll love Key West. You feel like you're in the Bahamas. Ever been to the Bahamas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you Key West is like, you go to Key West, it's like you're being in the Bahamas. Then one thing about was why I say that is that the Key West was actually built up by Bahamians that came over and they worked and they built the Key West and built most of South Florida back in the 20s and the 30s.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. So it's interesting. A lot of interesting history.
Yes. So how would you get to Key West? You'd have to fly into Miami and then take the
you
Southern
fly
Bridge?
into Miami, or you can fly to Fort Lauderdale, which is Fort Lauderdale is a better airport to go to than Miami. Miami is too congested.
Oh, okay.
And you just drive down. You go down. Same road is a road called US 1.
Mm-hmm.
You get I-95. You go down, and I-95 turns into US 1. US 1 goes by the University of Miami and just goes down to Homestead, where they used to have Homestead Air Force Base, and you just keep going, and then you just run into, after Dade County, you run into what they call Monroe County, and just keep going straight, and that road takes you right down to Key West.
Now, how long of a drive is that from Fort
It's
Lauderdale?
Key West is 186 miles from Miami.
Well, how many?
186 miles. So it's about 3 hours, but it's
Wow.
it's lovely drive. Lovely drive.
Looks like it.
Oh, I drove down there in a convertible once.
Oh, nice.
Just a beautiful drive. You go to Marathon Key. You hit certain keys as you go down. Marathon Key, Key Largo, and the last key is Key West. That's at the very bottom. Yeah. Oh, you will love it.
Sounds nice. There was a long time ago. There was a software convention out there, but I didn't go, and I regret it. I regret it.
Yeah, you can fly and you can drive. A beautiful drive. Just a beautiful drive. Hemingway has a home down there. Ernest Hemingway.
Yes. Okay.
And who else? Was it Truman or Roosevelt? It was Truman that had a summer home down in Key West. And there used to be a naval base. There was a naval base, then they closed it down, and I hear that they reopened it again down in Key West.
Okay.
Yeah. Just interesting. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good
food.
Yeah, good food. You will love it. Oh, you will love it. Like I said, like being in Bahamas without leaving the country. You can go straight in there. So that's when they say Key West is actually 90 miles from Cuba.
Oh, right.
Yeah, from the coast of Cuba. It's just 90 miles. But anyway, how's your how's your mom? I ain't never asked me about a lot of that. She doing
Oh,
all right?
she's doing well. She's
Yeah.
doing well. Parents are doing well. They're getting up in their age, but at least, thank goodness, my father could still drive. Although
You see,
sometimes we don't want him to.
yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. You know, that's excellent.
That,
Yeah,
yes, as long as, yes, they can get around, which is good. Yes.
yeah, yeah. I don't go to Miami as much because in the last 10 years, and it may be a little more than 10 years, maybe about 11 years, I lost my mom and my dad.
Oh, okay.
So my mom was 2009 and my dad was 2013.
Okay.
So I don't go down as much as all my siblings still live down there.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I didn't want my son to move, because what I could do is that when I went down, I can see everybody
Right.
at one time.
That's true.
Now I got to go to Atlanta. And shoot. So, you know, but it's okay. So I still go down there. So I'm going to try to get out here tomorrow. Depending on what depending on what my judge is going to do, because I got something to use for it. But I'm going to try to get finished with all my stuff early and leave and go. Yeah. So
Are you
you
flying?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly. I'm on standby on a flight, but you know, you just have a good time with your mom, and you know,
Well, thanks. Yes, we have to enjoy it while we can.
you
know,
have to enjoy it. You
you
have
get
to
to a
enjoy
certain age. Yes, you get to a certain age, and yes, you're like, okay, it's
it.
a part of life, you know.
Every day is a gift. Every day is a
Yes.
gift. Every
Yes,
day
it
is a
is.
gift. You just, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's good that you know you can still enjoy them and have a good time.
Yes.
And we'll see what happens.
Nice thing about it is, I could just drive, which they're 2 hours from here, 2.5. My father was ex-military, so Fort Hood. So that's a nice thing.
Oh,
Just
you
drive
know,
down there.
is those roads still under construction up there?
Yeah, I take 281.
Oh yeah, because I would go up to 95. No, I'm sorry, 95. I go 35 up to after I leave. But I make that turn before. No, I make that turn before I get to Waco. There's some other road I would go, and it would take because I had a client out there near Fort Hood.
Bell County. Oh, hi, Judge. The judge is back.
Hi. Oh, no problem. I'm listening to your guys' conversation. I always like to know new routes.
That history, Judge. You know, I love that history. Now, Judge, I got a small dilemma. I got something that's set for tomorrow, and I was wondering, because I'm gonna try to get out here tomorrow if I can.
Are you heading to Florida?
I'm headed to Miami. Miami, and I was wondering, could I do? I think we're gonna. I believe we're gonna work this one out. It's Govan. He's set for tomorrow, and I was wondering, could I bring him on the not this Friday, but next Friday, which is the 14th.
All right. What's the cause number?
Cause number is Angel. That on Govan, what's that cause number on Govan? 2018 CR. What is it again? 1926.
All right, just give me a moment. To the clerks, could you bring me file 2018 CR 1926, please? Thanks. All right, just give me a moment. And Dan Rodriguez, who are you here for?
Curtis Mooneyhan.
All right, and is Mr. Mooneyhan in the courtroom?
He's in the courtroom.
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
All right, could you have him, you're still in the courtroom with James Oltersdorf, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Daniel Rodriguez, as soon as they finish with that other thing that's happening in the courtroom, because someone's in a breakout room in there, we'll take up Mr. Mooneyhan.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks. Okay, who was the prosecutor who's going to be handling Devontae Jamar Govan?
It's Tom.
All right, can I see you all in a breakout room? Breakout room number 1, please.
Okay.
And Norma, can you come to number 1, please?
Is Norma there anywhere? This is Jim Ultersdorf.
He's in a breakout room, Jim.
Oh, okay. I needed to find out what I could tell Miss Morales, who is the new appointment I just got, if I could let her go or what I needed to do. Okay.
All right, James Otersdorf, are you ready to talk with the state?
Yes, ma'am. I was probably going to see if I could just let Miss Morales go ahead and leave if she's.
Not yet, because I'm gonna have to give her a new court date.
Okay, that's why I kept her. That's why when I came back in to check on things generally. Okay.
Okay. So
Because-
is there anyone able to go confer with Mr. Otersdorf in breakout room number 3, please? And Mr. Otersdorf, if you'll go back to 3.
Okay, but again, I just wanted to mention that I have gotten all of the information I need from Miss Morales. We talked about a lot of things that needed to be talked about. So I'm okay whenever she gets the go ahead, she can leave, and then I can contact her tomorrow.
All right, just give me one moment. Let me do this case right quick, and I'll let you talk with someone from the state.
Okay, dokie.
All right, who are the parties on Dan Rodriguez's client? Mr. Mooney?
I talked to him a little bit this morning, Judge.
Tom is also, yes.
All right. And this is just for sentencing. Court is calling 2021 CR 0249, State of Texas versus Curtis Lee Moonahan. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Nisbet.
for the defense?
Dan Rodriguez.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. This is one of the 187th in-person days. And the court will also note that this plea was reached by video as well. Any objections with this proceeding by video, state?
No.
Defense?
No.
Mr. Moonahan, do you have any objections with us proceeding by video?
No.
All right, then. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the state jail facility. There are no applications, and we are here for today for sentencing. The court will follow your plea bargaining agreement. The court will sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. State will take in consideration NIMAG number 594360. Mr. Moonahan, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
And also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Moonahan, good luck to you. All right.
Your Honor,
Yes.
before Mr. Moonahan is taken away, the reason I'd spoken with Tom earlier was because we were requesting a continuance on the sentencing because Mr. Moonahan's spouse has just passed away, and he wants to be able to bury her before he goes into custody.
State.
It's kind of a weird deal, Judge, not to sound insensitive, but we were looking for any verification of that from the defense, and none was provided. So
I don't have
this afternoon.
Right. And I don't have any. I didn't have any at the morning, which is why we wanted to come back this afternoon. But I was wondering if Mr. Moonahan, through question and answer, could provide some direction to the court, or at least some indication of what happened. Or
Okay. I don't mean to be insensitive. I've lost many relatives as well, but there needs to be some sort of documentation. And my understanding is if someone passed away from in the hospital, it would be easy to get documentation. If they passed earlier in the week, then that means that the body is at the funeral home, and the funeral home will be able to give documentation to that. All the court needs, and I'm sure all the state needs, someone call the funeral home, and the funeral home will fax over whatever documents to the court, and then the court will consider whether or not to take your client into custody today or not. So I'll give you all till 4:30 today. The court is here till 5.
Okay, Your Honor, I guess so. Here's the issue. Mr. Moonahan, as far as I know, as late as today, does not have any such documentation. Only a business card from a coroner.
It happened Friday afternoon. And then the funeral home just picked up the body yesterday.
All right, which funeral home is this?
I can call and make sure, so ma'am, I didn't quite get the name of it when she told me last night.
All right.
I
Then
can call the funeral home I can call and get the name of the funeral home where they picked the body at, and I can get that to you right now. I need a phone call.
Well, here's the thing. I'll send you to a breakout room with your attorney, get that information to your attorney, and then just fax the information to the court. And at that time, the court will make a decision.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. To the courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 3, please.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
And Mr. Mooneyhan, I'm assuming that you and your wife were still living together as husband and wife?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. All right, they'll take you to breakout room number 3 and we'll find out what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Ferguson?
I'm sorry for the interruption. I'll just send you an email.
All right, thank you. And Norma, can we have a date for Nadine Morales, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Give them 30 days.
We can come back on the 1st.
Okay. Thank you. No. I'll put a post-it on your bed. Norma, what's the return date on Ross Chavez?
The
Did you
12th.
say Friday, the 12th?
Yeah, no, I think it's a Wednesday, Judge.
May 12th?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Do we have anyone else remaining?
No, ma'am.
We have
All
Mr.
right. Yes, we still have Mr. Moody. Has he been able to get the information to his attorney, Deputy Laura?
He's working on it, Your Honor. Apparently, the body's still at the morgue, and they're making arrangements to be transferred to the mortuary. and it has to be released by the mother.
Okay. All right, just give me one moment.
Sent you a check, Judge.
All right, thank you. Tom, could you go to breakout room number 2, please?
Hey, Norma, my battery died in my computer, so I logged back on with my phone.
Okay, I'll let Judge know.
Okay.
Do you go to the breakout room with your client?
I've already done that, and I've got some information to report back to the judge. And can I do it with Tom really quick? Let me let Tom know what's going on, then I'll talk to the judge.
Give me 1 second. Let me.
Mhm.
He's in a breakout room with the judge.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Dan, you need to talk to Tom.
Yes, Your Honor, please.
All right. So if you'll go to breakout room number 2, Dan, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Deputy Laura, could I see Michael Avery, please?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Avery?
Michael Avery, do you know why you had to appear in court instead of by Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
Because I took a hit off a cigarette.
All right, Mr. Avery, I'm going to give you one more time to behave appropriately on Zoom. If I have another problem with you on Zoom, for every court hearing you have, you're going to have to appear. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to come back on June 1st, and that will be by Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And just remain in the courtroom. They're going to give you a reset form, okay?
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
you're welcome. Deputy Laura, is there a Ramsey Gonzalez in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Deputy Laura, could I see Ms. Morales on the screen, please?
Yes.
Ms. Morales, your next court date is going to be June 1st. You could appear in person or by Zoom. Are you able to Zoom?
No.
All right, so you will need to be in the courtroom then, and you'll need to appear by 9 a.m., okay?
I will.
All right, June 1st, they're going to give you a sheet to sign so that you'll be able to take that piece of paper with you so you can remember your date.
Okay.
That will be your plea deadline date. I will not extend the plea deadline any further. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. The plea deadline.
Date is June 1st. What that means is that is your last time to make a decision on whether or not you will accept a plea or whether or not you want a jury trial or a bench trial. That's something that you can discuss with your attorney. You have all his information, correct?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Oltersdorf, do you need anything else from the court?
No, Judge, thank you. I've been able to talk to the state. And if it's okay, if I can just tell Miss Morales, if you want to call me later today, but for sure tomorrow, okay?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
All right, thank you, Ms. Morales, and thank you, Mr. Opestor.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're both excused. Dan Rodriguez with Mr. Munihan. Oh, you're on mute, Dan.
Okay, I spoke with the DA's office. I spoke with Mr. Mooneyham. He gave me some information. However, that information cannot be, there is not going to be a funeral date posted until probably Monday. My suggestion would be, since he's here and we already know that the sentence is going to be for prison, to remand him without bond today, not impose the sentence today, remand him without bond. And then let me file a motion by Monday, once I know the date, that would allow him to be, I guess, put back on bond to attend the funeral with the date certain to turn himself back in.
All right, so here's the issue. I don't have any legal reason to remand him without bond because one, if you want the court to not sentence him today, then you all would have to file a motion technically for a new trial because the sentence I've given him is a legal sentence. So that's the first thing that would then have to happen. And then with regards to remanding him without bond, there would be a need to be a reason for it unless somebody wants to file a motion or someone wants to do it orally on the record requesting that he be remanded without bond. And if Mr. Munihan wants to request that he be remanded without bond, then he can.
I think the remand without bond, legally speaking, the justification would be that he is going to be sentenced to prison and not probation. So we already know that that probation is not an option. So, I mean, that's a legal justification. I mean, I don't know if that's persuasive or not. That's the only thing I can think of in order for you to be satisfied that he's not going to run and to give me time until Monday to figure out this funeral situation.
I've been here every time on the court time and then the Zoom. I've been here every time. I've already been to prison. I'm not scared of going back. It's not the point.
Well, it's a shame that you're not afraid of going back to prison. Maybe that would help you make better decisions. Just have a seat, Mr. Munihan. Let me speak with the state and defense in a breakout room.
Yes, ma'am. I just need time to go to my wife's funeral. That's all I need.
All right, have a seat, please.
Thank you.
Can I see both of you all in breakout room number 1? George Dunbar.
Hi, Judge.
Hello. Mr. Ramsey did not appear.
Okay, Your Honor.
Do you have any idea where he is?
Judge, I have not had any communication with him. It's been for quite some time, and that's part of the reason why I filed a motion to withdraw.
Okay, let's go on the record very quickly. Is there a prosecutor available?
I'm available, Judge.
Thank you. The court is calling 2019 CR 9380. State of Texas versus Ramsey Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Alexandra Williamson.
For the defense?
George Dombart.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
And also, we are here because Mr. Ramsey also has a 6th violation report from pretrial services. Mr. Dunbar, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 3:57 p.m. Deputy Laura, has there been a Ramsey Gonzalez in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
And for the record, he has not been on the Zoom screen. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Judge, unfortunately, I have not had any communication with my client in some time. I have tried to reach him through the channels that I have to my knowledge, and I have not received responses. So I have filed a motion to withdraw on the case due to the lack of the communication and also a violation of our contractual agreement.
All right, well, first we're going to address the fact that he's not here today. So you've had no contact with him?
I have not spoken with him, Your Honor. I haven't spoken with him. I'm just trying to, I'm sorry, walk the line on as far as what's attorney-client privilege and not, but I have not spoken with him, Your Honor. I have sent notices. The notices that I've received, I've sent them through the channels that I have available. I don't know if they were received or not.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, we'd request that you forfeit his bond and issue a warrant for his arrest.
All right, he will be remanded without bond, and I'll grant the state's motion for a bond forfeiture. Next, Mr. Dunbar, you wanted to address the issue of your motion to withdraw?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking that I be allowed to withdraw from the case. I've been on it for a short amount of time. I think when I looked at my records, I think I was hired on February 27th. Since Mr. Ramsey was first released from jail when I first got hired, that's basically about the last time I've had communication with him, Your Honor.
All right, state, any objections to defense's motion?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the motion to withdraw will be granted, and I have your motion and the court has signed it. It should be in the system sometime today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And if there's nothing else, we will close the record on this case. Thank you for zooming in. Have a great Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, it's already gone.
No, I mean, each day is, in the words, I think, is Dinah Washington, 24 little hours. So you have more time. Good luck.
Oh, no, Judge, I haven't eaten lunch or anything all day. I'd rather go home and relax. I've been out and and just kind of relax and rest.
Sure, and order lunch or dinner. Have a good one.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Daniel Rodriguez, on your case. Mr. Monahan. You're muted.
I'm gonna make an oral motion for new trial, ask for a new sentencing date on Monday.
Okay, state any objections to?
I'm sorry, Judge, are we on the record?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Maria. All right, we're back on the record in 2021 CR 0249, State of Texas versus Curtis Lee Moonahan. Defense?
Your Honor, I'm asking for, making an oral motion for new trial to be heard Monday.
All right, and State, are you any objections to the defense oral motion for a new trial as it relates to sentencing?
None.
All right, then, so the court is going to grant your oral motion for a new trial as it relates to sentencing. And we will come back for sentencing. Norma, can we recall this for sentencing on Monday? And Mr. Rodriguez, what time on Monday will your client know the status of funeral arrangements?
Well, I'm going to handle that, Your Honor. So I'll be contacting the funeral home throughout the week and the weekend. So I'm hoping to have that status to you. If I can have it by Friday, that'd be great. If not, Monday morning, first thing.
All right, just to be sure, Mr. Rodriguez, are you able to come back Monday afternoon?
Monday afternoon, it would have to be, I have a 1 o'clock doctor appointment.
Okay, well, we'll do it in the morning then. I just
Okay.
thought that would make it easier for you. Norma, we'll recall him then on May 10th at 9 a.m. And Mr. Moonahan, you'll need to be in the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not leave the courtroom. We'll give you a reset form. Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Moonahan is coming back on May 10th at 9 a.m. and it'll be in person. All right, with that, we'll close the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks.
Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And we'll stop the live stream, hopefully